Hello YouTube and welcome back to Be a Loser. In this video we continue through the common myths about LCHF and keep blowing them up. Myth 7. Antioxidants and phytonutrients are lacking in a ketogenic diet. Well, as we've already seen from myth 2, the high volume of meats and green vegetables on an LCHF diet supplies us with more than enough vitamins and minerals. As for antioxidants, a 2006 study from the Women's Health Initiative showed that over time, a dietary intervention that reduced total fat and increased intake of supposedly antioxidant-rich foods, such as fruits and vegetables, did not significantly reduce the risk of CHD, stroke, or CVD. Also, phytonutrients, which are plant-based nutrients, are not essential nutrients. And studies have shown that some fruit and vegetable consumption can actually do more harm than good. According to the study, the overall effect of the 10-week period without dietary fruits and vegetables was a decrease in oxidative damage to DNA, blood proteins, and plasma lipids. Let's restate that, shall we? The findings were that not eating fruits and vegetables for 10 weeks resulted in better antioxidant health. As always, there are links in the description. Myth 8. Complex carbs are good carbs and need to be in your diet. Okay, warning here. We are going to have to get all sciencey now, just so you're forewarned. As we learned from our previous video, lower blood sugar and insulin levels are important for good health. We discussed this in regards to HbA1c levels in Myth 6. So if we are going to look at complex carbs, then the measure for their benefit would be their impact on those levels. Generally speaking, a person weighing 150 pounds who eats 1 gram of carbs will raise his or her blood sugar by 83 mg per dl, or milligrams per deciliter of blood. We'll consider that as normal. Now, normal fasting blood sugar should range between 70 mg per dl and 99 mg per dl. As we already know, blood sugars rise when eating. For good health, blood sugar should be below 120 mg per dl 1 to 2 hours after eating. So, looking at the following chart, we can very easily observe that the so-called good carbs are in reality not healthy at all for HbA1c levels, and therefore increase risk of obesity, T2D, and vascular issues. And the green vegetables that are recommended for LCHF are actually the true good carbs. And if we look at this next chart, it's even more obvious that the foods recommended for LCHF, the foods that you're told to avoid for your health, these foods are actually quite healthy for you. Now, bear in mind that both charts are based on the averages that we set up earlier. Everyone is different and will have greatly varying responses to different foods. If you truly want to see how these complex carbs affect you, then follow these steps as outlined on the ketogenic diet resource. 1. Buy a glucometer and test strips. 2. Get a baseline blood sugar reading before you eat. 3. Choose one of the complex carbs on the list and eat only that. 4. Record your blood sugar numbers 1 to 2 hours after eating. 5. Highlight each complex carb reading that is over 120. And 6. Keep a log over a 2-week period. Once you reach the end of the list, you will know how each complex carb affects you. And you will most likely find that these so-called healthy complex carbs really aren't healthy at all. Myth 9. Low-carb diets cause muscle wasting. In reality, it turns out that low-carb diets are actually better for preserving muscle mass. There have been several studies that support this assertion, and I'll link them, of course. But to sum them up, groups on low-calorie, low-carb diets that were in ketosis showed greater muscle mass retention, while those under the same caloric restriction but on a high-carb diet showed muscle loss. This is attributed to the extra carbs that were consumed displacing the protein that would have helped retain the muscle mass. This muscle wasting myth is perpetuated by trainers and dietitians who don't have a full understanding of muscle preservation. As we stated before, when your body is adapted to ketosis, your brain can use the ketone bodies for fuel. This means that the daily glucose requirement for the brain goes down, and therefore the body won't need to use any muscle mass as alternate fuel. In fact, Dr. Steve Phinney and Jeff Volek wrote an entire book about it titled The Art of Low Carb Performance. Myth 10. The weight lost from LCHF is only water weight. It's true that in the initial stages of transitioning your body into ketosis, you do lose some water weight. This is due to the fact that the standard high-carb diet causes water retention. The kidneys retain salt, and this causes the body to retain water. When the carbs are cut, blood sugar and insulin levels come down, and this excess water and salt is released from the kidneys. This is why it is important to hydrate and add salt to your diet when starting LCHF. However, after this initial 2-week period, the body begins using its own fat cells for fuel, and you can continue to lose weight. Myth 11. You'll gain all the weight back if you stop your LCHF diet. Well, excuse me, but isn't that true of any diet? As I've stated in another video, diet comes from the Greek diaetia, which means way of life. For people who do not metabolize carbs well, this means that LCHF is the answer, and it needs to be a lifestyle change that you continue permanently. It is not a fad, and coupling it with intermittent fasting is the most powerful health and weight loss tool that there is. And finally, myth 12. LCHF is low in fiber, which is bad for the colon. Again, this is most likely lack of knowledge about LCHF. Fibrous green vegetables make up a large portion of an LCHF diet. Most people eat more greens like spinach, kale, broccoli, and asparagus than they ever did previous to starting LCHF. As we've already seen, these greens are very high in fiber. In reality, your colon health is most likely better on LCHF than the standard American diet. A 2014 University of Toronto study supports just that. Check the description for the link. And there we are, 12 myths down. Took 2 videos, but we did it. Please feel free to read the links provided in the descriptions and decide for yourself. I came to my own conclusion long ago, and the fact that I've devoted a YouTube channel to it should speak volumes. So, we'll be back soon in a new video. As always, I encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe. It's always nice to hear from you. Hopefully, we can grow the channel and try to change the false paradigm of obesity and T2D. Additionally, please feel free to follow us on Facebook, and of course, visit our website, bealoser.today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep being a loser.